This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network. And joining me right now is Dr. Keith Barron. He is the chairman and CEO of Aurania Resources. It's a publicly traded company. I got two symbols for you: ARU on the TSX Venture and AUIAF on the OTCQB. You can actually see Dr. Barron give a presentation at the upcoming investor conference, the Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek hybrid event this year, virtual and in person, happening September 8th through the 11th, 2021, where we'll be a media sponsor of the event. And with that, Dr. Barron, welcome back. Good to see you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm looking forward to being actually at Beaver Creek this year instead of it being virtual.
I'm sure. So last time we spoke, or the last interview that we did together, we published that on August 20th, 2020. So I'd like to start off today. Can you provide us some highlights, some high-level highlights over the last, 10, 11, 12 months?
Wow, gosh, so much has happened in the last year. What were we actually doing a year ago? I got to take my mind back. Well, there's been a lot of progress. We have two drills operating right now. They've been drilling for several months now on some different targets. But really the thing that is of most interest, I suppose, and what we've really accomplished over the last year is that now we're starting to pull the whole project together. And this is a bit of an odd duck, this thing, because it is a very, very, very large land position. It's 500,000 acres, as I think you remember from last time. And it's an area that has not been previously explored by any mining company. So when I acquired this thing, it was really a blank slate. There was no information except some information, historical information, that the Spanish conquistadors had found gold in the area, and we've been following that up. But also we've been doing just basic boots on the ground, technical research, geology, geological mapping, sampling of the streams. We've done some airborne surveys, and over the last 4 years, and now we're starting to see the fruits of that labor, so to speak. We essentially, what we have here is an entire, it's a basin, it's a sedimentary basin. It's what's called a back arc rift basin, and it has a number of porphyry copper targets in it, but also as well, it has an incredible endowment of base metal, copper, silver, and sediments. Looks very, very much like Friedland's project with Ivanhoe in the DRC. And we have some zinc, silver in sediments as well, and limestone. And that thing looks a bit like what we call an MVT type deposit, Mississippi Valley type. But in any case, these things are massive. The whole trend goes for 45 kilometers. That's roughly, well, it's over 30 miles. It's incredible. And we control this whole block by virtue of the fact that I was the first one to apply for it. I applied for it privately with my own cash, and then I put it into Aurania. Now, this is very important to understand, because if I had tried to put it directly into a public company, I'm sure that a board of directors would have said I was crazy, because it had no real information, a database behind it. And they probably said, well, why are you going to spend all this money? Well, I was working a little bit on a geological hunch, and also from the fact that the area to the south of us, just on the southern end of our property, is extremely well endowed with mineral deposits. In fact, there is a copper mine in production today. And my last iteration, my last company, Aurania Resources, found massive Fruta del Norte deposit, which is an epithermal gold silver deposit, about 100 kilometers to the south of where we're presently working. And that thing was a huge win. And we're using the same methodology to work up our property, same tried and true stuff. And and finding really producing incredible results. But this is just not a simple play that you would find in other junior companies. This is, if you're an investor in Aurania, you're essentially an investor in like in 5 or 6 different plays, because you have exposure to all these different metals and all these different ore environments. And it's only by virtue of the fact that we have this very, very large land package, very large land position that's contiguous. It has no holes in it. It's just one great block, big block from one end to the other. And we've been able to explore this and really get a coherent idea of what's going on. If we were working on a kind of a postage stamp basis and we had a whole bunch of neighbors doing their own things around us, we never would have figured this out. But now it's really starting to bear fruit. And I think we're really on the cusp right now of finding not just porphyry copper, but also epithermal gold. We have a huge number of targets for that. And also the sedimentary hosted copper and zinc. There's nothing like this out there. There's no other play like this out there in the world.
Very good. So Dr. Barron, with all the updates that you just gave us, and even going through a little bit of the investment thesis behind Aurania, what would you say is the most important thing for you when you think about the company that you want investors to understand?
Well, the most important thing for me is it's going to make me very, very rich. I own 42% of the company. I don't take a salary, and I am extremely invested in here. You know, essentially, if the shareholders don't make money, I don't make money. It's a very, very odd situation for a junior company. I can't think of another company out there that has the management invested to such a huge level on this. So I have an incredible amount of skin in this game, and I'm working very, very hard to make it work. And I think that we have potential here, not just to find another Fruta del Norte like I found last time, but also that plus with base metals and maybe a multitude. What we have here is essentially a situation where we could line up a number of major companies as partners in joint ventures. We have all kinds of optionality here. So it's, you know, I call it the jewel box. It's really an embarrassment of riches. What can I say?
Very good. Now, before I let you go today, from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's value catalysts now for the rest of 2021?
Well, we're going to be continuing to drill. We have 2 drills on site that are operating 24 hours a day. We have a 3rd drill, which is not in operation right now, but we're contemplating getting that up and running as well. And we have got some real heavyweights behind us as consultants, some of the best names in the business. And we're just going to keep hitting these targets and see what shakes out of the trees. But this is not like throwing darts. This has got a lot of good technical backup to it. We're just as risk averse as anybody else, and we are using public money here, and we want to deploy it in the best places possible.
Very good. Well, with that, Dr. Barron, where can our audience go and find more information about Aurania Resources?
Well, take a look at our website. That's aurania.com, AURANIA.com. And we have a whole bunch of videos from yours truly posted there, and lots of information. And also, you've got my emails there. So if you want to fire me an email directly, I'll do my very best to answer any questions.
Dr. Barron, thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. I look forward to our next update.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
Thank you. Again, my name is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network, and we're a proud media sponsor for the upcoming Precious Metals Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 8th through the 11th, both virtually and in person. And thank you for listening today.
Thank you.